Hi, everyone. Today I'm listening to an artist by the name of Beck, which I understand is an American singer, songwriter, musician. And the song is going to be I'm a Loser. No, that is not true. The song is going to be Loser. How did I get mixed up? Well, because I was just sitting down here with Vlad to make this recording, and I saw the title Loser from 1993, and I said, wait, I remember I'm a Loser something. And he said, oh, yeah, that's the Beatles. Oh, yes, that was a long time ago. So we just had this little discussion about Loser, I'm a Loser, and now I just announce I'm listening to I'm a Loser. No, I'm listening to Loser by Beck. And it's about, well, this was from 93, and I guess I'm a Loser with the Beatles was across the pond, and way back in 64, Vlad just informed me. And so we're looking at almost 30 years difference, still with Loser in the title. It's going to be interesting to see how they compare or not. Anyway, let's see how it sounds. Ooh, digging into the drums there. Interesting guitar part.
In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Butane in my veins and a mouth to cut the chunky with the plastic eyeballs. Spray paint the vegetables, dog food skulls with the beefcake pantyhose. Kill the headlights and put it in neutral. Stock car flaming with the Loser and the cruise control. Babies in Reno with the vitamin D. Got a couple of couches, sleep on the love seat. Someone came saying I'm insane to complain about a shotgun wedding and a stain on my shirt. Don't believe everything that you breathe. You get a parking violation and a maggot on your sleeve. So shave your face with some mace in the dark. Saving all your food stamps and burning down the trailer park. Yo, cut it. So
Okay, so this to me screams grunge. It really says nothing about the Beatles at all. It's just the title, Loser, I'm a Loser. This to me screams grunge, and I guess it's the right era, 1993. In fact, there are things about it that remind me of another song which also kind of has a sort of loser vibe to it. I guess it was Creep. Was that by
Radiohead.
Radiohead? Yeah. So I don't remember the date of that one, but it was grunge era, and I hear a lot of similarities, stylistically, and even the lyrical writing has a lot of stylistic similarities, at least to me. Let's back up just a little bit here, because there are some things that are incredibly amusing in this music. There's this kind of sort of Indian instrument sounding twing, 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 twang. And I don't know if it's the guitar or if it really is an Indian or other ethnic instrument. I don't know, but it kind of has that sort of world music-y sound, but it's in the background. And as I said at the beginning, the drums are really, really stepping up front, aren't they? But at the same time, even though they're so prominent and really at the front of the sound that I hear, they're serving the role of accompaniment. It's not actually the focal point of the piece. So it's as if we have to kind of look behind them to see really what are we listening to. It's interesting, isn't it? So there's that sort of, I don't know, almost irony in the musical arrangement of it. And then in the lyrics as well, you hear a lot of sarcasm and irony. And in the video clip as well, we just got to this moment where we're watching this coffin go sliding down the hill, as he's talking about a parking ticket and that sort of and couches and the love seat, as I'm watching this coffin slide down the hill. That's really quite ironic, isn't it? And then out steps an old guy with a guitar, and he starts strumming, and it makes no pretense of trying to sound like he is playing along with the music. He's not playing in time with the music at all. But then it just cut the sound. And that's kind of where I stopped it. So I don't know. Is he going to sync up with everything at this point? I have no clue. Let's just back up a little bit here.
Sure. Don't believe everything that you breathe. You get a parking violation and a maggot on your sleeve. So shave your face with some mace in the dark. Saving all your fruit stands and burning down the trailer park. Yo, cut it. So
what does this remind me of? Oh, it reminds me of something, and now I can't remember what it is. This it's a piece of music, and I don't exactly place it right now, but interesting the way that it changes and starts throwing in, what is that, some Spanish? The sliding up. It goes way up and then slides down. Okay, now we're back to
because one's got a weasel and other's got a flag. One's on the pole, shove the other in the bag with the rerun shows and the cocaine nose job. The daytime crap of the folk singer's club. He hung himself with a guitar string. A slab of turkey neck
even
and
this,
it's hanging from a
I feel like
if you can't relate,
it's
trade the
recalling
cash for the
something
beat,
I've
for
heard.
the body for the hate, and my time is a piece of wax falling on a termite. It's choking on the splinters.
And now we're back to this.
I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me?
Interesting though. This, when he finally gets to I'm a loser, baby, why don't you kill? Soy on the door, and the sliding up. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? We end up back down there. When he sings, I'm a loser, baby, it's almost like a celebration. And as I'm thinking back to the Beatles, I'm a loser. I remember that one also had this sort of celebratory feeling about it. Like, okay, if I'm a loser, let's just celebrate the whole failure. This also, the way this refrain is kind of phrased. Da 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 da. It actually interesting that it has this Spanish phrase, because it has almost a little bit of a flamenco feel to it there, as it says da 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 da. It's almost as if it's a little bit of flamenco flair there.
For the body, for the hate, and my time is a piece of wax falling on a termite. It's choking on the splinters. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Crazy with the cheese whiz. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Drive by body pierce.
you hear that? That sort of Spanish flair to it. And they're lingering on this drone at the bottom. Dom, 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 dom.
I'm a
Also
driver,
kind of-
I'm a winner. Things are gonna change, I can feel it.
I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? I can't believe it. So I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? So I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me?
You know what I'm saying?
This piece. Right, so this piece I find fascinating. The music itself is kind of repetitive, doesn't have a ton of musical material in it. But what is there is so incredibly well used. And you put the lyrics with that, or put that with the lyrics. I guess I would say the lyrics came first in this one. And I feel like saying the humor, the irony, the sarcasm, this is an incredibly, shall I say, humorous piece of music. I feel like I could spend several hours digging through this and exploring it and laughing and making faces along the way of, oh, really? Ah, I get that feeling of, there's a lot more to this than perhaps meets the eye on a straight through listen, but really an interesting piece of music. This was from 1993. I don't want to speak too early, but I feel like saying, what a brilliant piece of music. I feel like it's fair and it's right for me to say that. And it's one that I'll probably come back to along the way, just out of strange sort of fascination and curiosity. And let's explore this one a bit more, because it is kind of weirdly, teasingly complex in its own way, even though the musical elements of it are quite simple. And that's a statement to some really great musicianship and artistry, not just musicianship, but lyrical writing and everything else that has gone into this. To make a piece that has so much to say and so much to discover and so much to enjoy about it. Again, with a style that I don't find myself personally drawn towards, and yet I feel myself wanting to dig into this one. First of all, this topic of loser. To build this piece of music, this song, around this topic of I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Even that there is dripping with irony. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? We clearly understand that that's not really what's being suggested. And yet, those are the words that are used to express. Let's go back to the first line, and just looking at the lyrics for a minute, because I feel like any exploration of this piece of music has to include not just the musical elements, but a lot of attention to the lyrical elements, and to really do justice, also attention to the video clip. All of it comes together. And It starts out, in the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Wait a minute. In the time of chimpanzees. Well, chimpanzees are a kind of monkey. You know, we would want to say, in the time of monkeys, I was a chimpanzee. But no, in the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. Already in that first line, we feel that somebody is really kind of messing with us. In the time of chimpanzees, I was a monkey. That to me is such a great opening line. I mentioned earlier this, the coordination of things like, got a couple of couches, sleep on a love seat. Someone came in saying I'm insane, to complain. And as we're hearing that, we see this coffin sliding down the grassy slope, and it goes on its journey. Other visuals come in, the lyrics continue, and this line where the music cut for a moment, just before that, this is where the coffin reappears, this time standing upright. So shave your face with some mace in the dark. I noticed that up until that point, it was a young kid shown in the video clip. And kind of young and carefree, and obviously provoking the adults around him, but not bad. Perfectly fine kid, right? So shave your face with some mace in the dark. And what comes out of the coffin? An old guy with a beard. Is that what happens when you shave your face with some mace in the dark? I mean, again, it's the humor and the layering of ideas and connections, which may or may not actually have that much to do with the overall message of the piece. But they're there for us to enjoy. It's like reading a wonderful book, which, okay, has or a great movie, which has a good message, okay? It's a worthy message to pay attention to, but it's the experience every bit along the way. If it's a book, it's the details and the writing, the flow of the text, and the images painted, where it takes us on this journey, which, you know, if you want to do a Cliff Notes version, you could get your message across clearly, succinctly, and it would be fine. But you would miss the journey and the experience. Or if it's a movie, same thing. You could give a summary and be like, oh yeah, I've seen movies with that sort of message before. Okay, fine. But no, it's the experience of watching and seeing how this message is conveyed and all the details along the way that might not be terribly relevant, but still so incredibly enjoyable. It's things like that that make me think, all right, so shave your face with some mace in the dark, and out of the coffin steps an old guy with a beard on his face. Or another example would be this, for example, this, what I said, this sort of allusion to world music. This twingy, twangy string instrument sound mixed in. Also, we find some mix of language in the lyrics. Soy un perdedor. Or a bit later, sprechen Sie Deutsch, baby? Why? Throwing in all this stuff. It's a sort of mockery, a sort of poking fun, and at the same time, a statement of we don't have to be all straitjacket. We don't have to be all proper and straitjacket. We can explore, we can taste, we can try, we can embrace all these different things, whether it's sarcastically or wholeheartedly, sincerely, but it's all here. It's here, and it's in the music because we hear it in that rather Spanish sounding refrain. Da, 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 da. You could hear that done with a violin and a guitar and you could see somebody in a flamenco dress doing some Spanish moves, dance moves, and it would fit perfectly. And yet it's thrown into this, in this context, and the scenes that you see are anything but that. It's so full of these sort of fun details to explore. So that's why I say it's a fun piece. And I have this strange sort of liking for it. And on that note, the other piece that reminded me of the other grunge piece, Creep, which I didn't really enjoy, if you remember seeing that first listen. Now I find this one just a year different, I guess. Did you say? Yeah. And so it's kind of a similar topic. I'm a loser, Creep, but a whole different perspective on it. And bringing in, loser, Creep. And then bringing in, of course, the Beatles way back in the 60s, I'm a loser. I'm curious now, it kind of gives me an idea of exploring this topic of loser, being a loser in rock music, popular music. How many different loser songs can we find which approach it from a different, not just a different artistic approach, but a different attitude, a different personality, because each of these three have a distinct attitude, a distinct worldview, a distinct mindset behind them, and a distinct approach to this whole concept of being a loser. If there are any others, really good ones, suggest them to me. I might actually do a little exploration of this topic of loser, which is really a funny topic to explore. But hey, why not? If there are some great loser songs, let's explore them and have some fun. Vlad's laughing behind the camera. Great loser songs. Interesting experience. I'm glad I listened to this. I'm curious about this composer Beck, this artist, because if he's created this piece, well, maybe he has some other really interesting ones to explore as well. So we'll see what comes. I'm looking forward to whatever happens in the future. I'll see you soon.